So this is what adventure is. Hopefully you can hear me over the crickets, but I want to do this quick review of this 2017 Honda CB300F. I've had this for about 3 years. I bought it brand new, and so far I've been able to put just over 10,000 kilometers. Now, I know what you're saying. In 3 years, that's it? 10,000 kilometers? Well, I've been a pretty busy guy. I got a family, full-time work, and I also have a lot of excuses. I'm going to give you the overall point of view for myself, how I use this bike and what I think it's been really good for. Now, to start off, people call this the starter bike, the beginner's bike, the bike for girls. Well, I've gotten that a lot in the comments where people say, well, oh, my 100-pound girlfriend has it, or my wife has it, and that was her beginning bike, and you know, she's going to be moving up soon. I know where people are going with that, and it's true. This is a bike that is friendly to beginners. But it's not necessarily, I would classify as a beginner's bike, meaning that you start on this and then you quickly get rid of it once you're more comfortable with riding. No, this is something that even I can think of as a long-term bike, a bike that I can keep forever, the bike that does enough for me. The styling, I like myself. You know, the overall dimensions and shape and the size, I think I really like. The second most important thing for most people is the power. Is this thing powerful? No. I think it's around 26 horsepower, but it helps me on these, say, gravel roads that I usually ride. Not to have too much power is a good thing, in that when I'm going around a corner, coming out, not sliding out the rear end by accident. I know some people would say, no, that's actually more fun, and it's probably true, but in my case, I prefer to keep the back end nice and tight. It does take off the line pretty nice. 3, 2, 1. If I go for a ride with somebody with a 650 or more, they turn their wrist and they're completely gone, and I'll take a couple minutes to catch up to them. For my type of riding, which is more casual riding, I like to go out on the weekends and enjoy the adventures that I can have out here, go to new places. That's the kind of thing I like to do. Yes, it can do highway speed, 120 kilometers an hour. That's where you're getting a little bit buzzier, so the RPMs will be about 7,500 RPMs, and again, it can do that, but it's pretty loud and it's very buzzy, a lot of vibrations at that speed, so it's definitely not meant for that. I take a lot of these country and secondary roads here where the maximum speed is about 80 kilometers an hour, and it's perfect for that. So going between 80 and 100 kilometers an hour on those roads, that's, I think, the sweet spot. Now, the gearing, again, for those speeds going up higher, not really meant for that. First gear is very, very short, and you'll probably want to be shifting in the middle of an intersection, which they don't recommend you doing, but it really buzzes up really high if you're trying to go through a really wide intersection. In parking lots, it's a bit of a pain in the neck because first gear is so short and it's very jerky when you're going across using it. So you really have to feather and use that clutch a lot in parking lots. I have the stock tires still on here. Not great tires, but they seem to be lasting quite a while now with very little tread wear. I'm not a very aggressive driver, so I'm not going to wear through these tires very quickly. I've had a few slips on them on the streets, and I'm not sure if it's road conditions or just the tire wasn't gripping. So far they're wearing out just fine. The riding ergonomics to me are fine. So for me, when I get on this bike, I am 6 feet tall. I do get a little bit cramped on, say, a ride that's over 200 kilometers or so for a couple hours. I guess my ankles feel a little bit cramped. I'm pretty upright. I have a slight lean forward, easy enough on the back. I can straighten up when I want to, or if I sit further back on the seat, I can be in a more crouched position if you prefer that. And another thing are these brakes. I guess they're a little bit on the softer end, people say, and I'd have to agree with that. If I'm trying to do an emergency stop, it can stop. The ABS works great, and I'll show you a clip here where I'm on the gravel. It stops safely. I do find that I really have to stomp on it quite hard to stop, but again, you have to definitely put some force in there to get it to stop very quickly. And now I'll just go through some modifications that I made as well. I added some brake and clutch levers. They're more adjustable, so I had them adjusted to me. I put some frame sliders on there, not totally necessary, but they came in handy just once or twice. I added these saddlebags here as well that I made, so the holders that are attached to the rear foot pegs, and the boxes are just ammo boxes. I added the guards, the hand guards. So important for cold weather riding, for me at least. Again, I don't like wearing those bigger, thicker gloves. I just feel like I have no dexterity, so having these really extends the riding season. I have the windshield as well, and I just take it off for the summer so I can get a nice cool breeze on myself, but I do put it on again for the colder months so that I can extend my riding season with more comfort. Mirror extenders, just to widen out the mirrors, was necessary because I couldn't see anything behind me if I didn't do that. I'm not a particularly wide person, but I think that was a necessity for safety for me. Now, for maintenance, quite easy. It's just been cleaning the chain and oil changes. I think the interval for checking valve clearances and that sort of thing is not till you're well past 20,000 kilometers. So again, maintenance has been nothing. I might be changing the coolant and brake fluid at some point as well. Brake pads are fine so far. I'm still on my original brake pads, so as you can see, I'm probably not the most aggressive driver. In past videos, I've been always talking about what am I going to get next, and it was a CB300F, maybe a Triumph Street Twin, or I don't know. The longer the time rolls on, the more I realize that, you know, for the type of riding that I'm doing, this is fine. I'm happy with it. It takes me on the adventures that I want to, so I think I might actually just be staying with this for a little while. So far, pretty reliable. There's just one period of time where I did think it was my fault in that when I put it for storage, maybe I didn't put enough fuel stabilizer in, but it would start to stall at idle. It resolved itself. I didn't have to get anything fixed on it. I just changed the fuel out multiple times, and it's been fine ever since. So who is this bike for? One, this bike is for people who are beginning on the bike, who've never ridden before and don't want something too intimidating. When I first got in it, I was still intimidated, by the way. I dropped it a couple times, and I was able to pick it up with very little effort. It was pretty good. It's around 360 pounds, I think, or 40 pounds wet, so quite easy to pick up. The second thing is somebody like me who is now, well, more experienced, and I just like taking it easy. I'm not caring about the speed, and don't get me wrong, I like going fast. It's just the performance and cornering around like really fast and that kind of thing. No, it's just not for me anymore. So anybody who's like that, who just wants to chill out, enjoy the ride, it's perfect. Person who rides more in the urban areas or these country roads, this is perfect. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next Ladybug adventure. So this is where I did my very first motorcycle review, and a lot of people have turned it into a dump site. And even going to the bathroom here, somebody had a very bad poo and put all their toilet paper here. And you took a dump right here? Couldn't even gone into the grass a little bit to take your dump? Let's get out of this dump. Get it? Dump. Joke of the day.